Right. Hi everyone. Today's move is 2 attacks from close guard. Really the main thing about close guard is we always want to control our opponent's posture. We never really want them to create space because they can easily break open our guard, or they can, if we're like in a street fight situation, God forbid, they might be able to create damage and create force because they have space. So what I want to do is if my opponent's grabbing my lapels, the way I'll break their posture is I'm going to swim from the inside, and at the same time I'm going to use a big portion of this really is my lower body and how I move with my lower body. I'm going to pull in my knees to my chest, and I'm going to push or pull with my quads. That breaks my opponent's posture and they bring them flat onto me, whilst simultaneously swimming underneath with my hands. So this is going to look like this. As soon as that happens, I'm going to go for the overhook on one side. So this side, I'm going to go over my opponent's right arm, and I'm going to go through the pocket with my left arm, and I'm going to grab the lapel as high as I can. So my left arm or left hand is going to grab my opponent's opposite lapel as high as I can. The good thing about this here is Muhammad cannot posture up. If he does, I'm like glue to him. We don't want to be in an overhook where it's like this, where they can pull out. I'm going to be hugging my opponent like very, very tight. I'm going to be glued to them. So the first attack that we're going to do is a cross collar choke, where I have this grabbing the opposite lapel. I'm going to just shrimp out. So look, my guard opens. I put my foot on the ground, shrimp out slightly. Now I'm going to go in with my thumb inside and my forefingers outside the lapel. I want to really find my blade or the palm of my hand. I want to have it on the side of my opponent's neck here. I don't want it over, because here I'm not going to be choking them. I want to have it here, because here I'm going to block their blood supply. So this as deep as I can. Fish in, find thumb inside, forefingers outside. Make sure that I don't want to have my forearm across their face. I want to have, like I said, the blade of my hand across the neck. And now I'm just going to squeeze my elbows in, and I'm going to bring myself and tuck myself in at the same time. So I'm doing this motion, and I'm tucking myself in at the same time. And this goes on very tight, actually. So that's choke 1. The second choke is similar setup. We break our opponent's posture, go for the overhook, we grab the lapel on the opposite side, break the posture. Now I'm going to shrimp. And the detail here, if you turn around a bit, Mujahid, I'm going to put my left foot on their hip, and I'm going to push with my knee inside and my shin on their back. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my opponent's opposite wrist. So I'm going to grab their left wrist. I'm going to put my right foot on their hip temporarily, and then I'm going to put it on their bicep. From here, I'm going to slice open, slice across, and close a triangle. Now, as you can see here, the triangle is not complete. Muhammad here has a lot of space where he can breathe. The way I actually finish this is I'm going to grab my shin, adjust. So if somebody's too big or too heavy, I'm going to grab my shin, adjust, let it cinch in where the back of my knee is fully flush with the top of my foot. And now I'm going to lift up and bring my opponent's elbow across. When I bring it across, you can see this gap is closed. Here there's a gap. When I bring the elbow across, that gap now is closed. I can further adjust and go to an angle. I always tell myself and my students that it's called triangle. You always want to be at an angle for it to be effective. From here, you can either push down on the head and squeeze your thighs in, or you can also up to go and underhook the leg to prevent them from escaping and going towards their arm. And you just squeeze. If the opponent is not tapping here, like I said, you can push down on the head, or you can even attack the arm, pull down, and lift up your hips on the elbow. So these are just different variations. And that's it really. So from the overhook, which is a very dominant position, we can attack the cross choke, and we can attack the triangle choke as well. Usually that overhook as well is very difficult for opponents to posture up, so it's very effective even at the highest level. Thanks for tuning in.